Have you ever wondered why many women gradually become disillusioned with their husbands as time passes? This is a common reality that countless long-term couples must face. The once passionate love, the bond that seemed unbreakable, sometimes transforms into daily frustrations, silent resentment, or even overt indifference. So what leads to this shift? Why, after decades of living together, do so many women find themselves feeling distant, weary, or even bitter toward the person they once vowed to spend their life with? In this video, we'll dive deep into the root causes, from evolving emotional needs to unspoken, pent-up disappointments. The journey of marriage often falls into strain due to repeating patterns that unfold so slowly that neither partner notices. The warmth of yesteryears fades, giving way to resentment, irritation, or belated regrets. But here's what matters. Understanding these signs can open a new perspective, whether about your own marriage or someone else's. By recognizing the problem, you'll see there's still a chance to turn things around, to rediscover connection, and to build a more fulfilling relationship. Stick with me until the end, because the reasons behind this might surprise you. These aren't just fleeting complaints. They're deep psychological and emotional factors that have quietly shaped relationships over the years, often unnoticed. By the end, you might look at marriage or past relationships in an entirely new light. If you haven't subscribed yet, I invite you to do so now, so you don't miss out. In many long-term marriages, one major reason women grow resentful of their husbands is the prolonged, unrecognized burden of emotional labor. Emotional labor isn't just tangible tasks like cooking or cleaning. It's the invisible efforts, remembering birthdays, organizing family schedules, soothing conflicts, and ensuring everyone's okay. This responsibility often falls on women, and over the years, the silence from a husband, who might think providing financially is enough, leads to profound exhaustion. Margaret, 68, spent decades tending to her family. She planned celebrations, picked out gifts for her husband, tracked doctor's appointments, and kept family life running smoothly. But her husband rarely said thank you or asked if she needed help. He assumed it was her duty, not something to value. Gradually, Margaret stopped feeling loved and began to feel like an invisible housekeeper. This lack of appreciation quietly erodes affection. At first, a small compliment might have been enough to make her feel seen. But when her husband stopped noticing, she began questioning her worth in the relationship. To fix this, husbands need to actively show gratitude. A simple thank you, or I see how hard you work, can ease resentment and restore connection before it's too late. As marriages stretch on, many women start feeling less like a wife and more like a roommate to their husband, a shift that wounds them deeply. In the beginning, the relationship brimmed with passion, deep conversations, and closeness. But over time, if both don't maintain effort, romance fades, leaving a pragmatic coexistence, eating dinner together, watching TV, but lacking the warmth of love. Helen, 65, once had evenings holding hands with her husband on walks, sharing dreams. Now he sits silently watching the news, not asking about her day, no longer offering spontaneous hugs. They live under one roof, but run parallel lives, never intersecting. The most painful part? He doesn't notice the change, thinking his presence is enough. For Helen, she feels undesired, unseen as a woman. This distance emerges when husbands forget that love needs nurturing. It doesn't just endure naturally. Women need to feel wanted, to have honest conversations, not just a physical presence. To mend this, husbands must reignite the spark, a compliment, a hand to hold, or simply listening. Otherwise, the gap widens, turning love into quiet resentment. One reason women grow resentful of their husbands as they age is unresolved small conflicts that pile up over time, like thick dust in the heart. It might be a careless remark, a forgotten anniversary, or an argument left hanging. At first, she might let it go, thinking it's not worth a fight. But as these small wounds accumulate, they form an impassable wall. Dorothy, 70, has lived with her husband for over 40 years. She recalls moments when her feelings were dismissed. When she expressed sadness, he'd say, "You're too sensitive," or, "That's old news. Why bring it up?" promises to change that he never kept led her to fall silent. Dorothy once tried to voice her feelings, but when they were brushed off, she gave up. Now, she no longer sees him as a partner, but as someone who makes her feel invisible. When a husband won't listen or resolve issues, he unwittingly signals that his wife's emotions don't matter. This indifference plants seeds of resentment, turning a once companion into a distant adversary. To change this, both must face the issues, open discussion, sincere apologies, and a commitment to fix things. Otherwise, silence isn't peace. It's a sign she's stopped hoping to be understood. As they age, many women grow resentful of husbands due to shifts in personal priorities that he doesn't recognize or adapt to. Early on, they might have been content raising kids, tending to the family, or supporting his career. But as children grow up and life slows, they crave something new, deeper connection, self-discovery, or untried experiences. If the husband clings to old routines, unwilling to join her, they feel trapped in a marriage that's lost meaning. Eleanor, 67, spent her life caring for her family, cooking meals, planning vacations, handling every detail. Now retired, she wants to travel, learn to paint, or join new social groups. But her husband prefers staying home, dismissing her ideas with, "I'm fine as is." Eleanor isn't just bored. She feels held back from the life she dreams of. He doesn't see that she's changed, still expecting her to play the same old role. Resentment brews when women feel they're growing while their husband stagnates. To fix this, he needs to listen and join her new journey, even a short trip or supporting her hobbies. If not, the divide grows, turning love into a sense of confinement. One of the most heartbreaking reasons women resent their husbands as they age is the absence of emotional and physical affection, leaving them feeling forgotten. Early in marriage, hand-holding, sweet compliments, and sudden hugs were routine, making them feel cherished. But over time, many husbands grow distant, viewing affection as unnecessary once things settle, leaving an emptiness in their wife's heart. Betty, 69, once adored how her husband gently touched her during talks or looked at her with warmth. Now he barely looks up from his phone, conversations stick to chores, and intimacy has vanished. When she hinted at missing the old days, he scoffed. "We're old, why bother?" To Betty, it's not just loneliness. She feels worthless in his eyes. Affection isn't just romance. It's a way to affirm her presence in his life. When a husband stops showing it, no compliments, no touch, no care, she loses not just connection but her sense of being a loved woman. To heal, he must revive small gestures, a kind word, a hug, to make her feel valued. If not, coldness turns to resentment, quietly destroying what love remains. A deep source of resentment in long marriages is feeling taken for granted, when a woman's ceaseless efforts become expected rather than appreciated. Early on, she might happily cook his favorite meals, remember special dates, or support him through tough times. But if he stops thanking her or even noticing over time, love gives way to weariness. Grace, 71, always kept the house spotless, prepared thoughtful dinners, and worried over every detail for his comfort. He used to say thank you, or smile in gratitude. Now he eats without a word, as if it's her duty. Once Grace asked, "Do you see what I do for you?" He replied, surprised, "Don't you always do that?" That careless response made her realize he no longer saw her worth. When appreciation fades, women feel like invisible machines, not cherished partners. The exhaustion isn't from the work, but from being unrecognized. To shift this, a husband needs only small acts, a heartfelt thank you, and "I know you work hard," to rekindle warmth. If not, she'll withdraw, not to punish, but because there's no reason left to give. One of the most painful reasons women resent their husbands in old age is the sense that they've become strangers. Marriage once began with long talks, shared dreams, and harmony. But over years, without effort to stay connected, routine and life's pressures pull them apart. One day, she looks at him and wonders, who is this person, and how did we drift so far? Mildred, 73, used to stay up late with her husband, sharing hopes and fears. Now he answers her in curt phrases, eyes glued to the TV. When she mentions wanting to learn to dance or travel, he shrugs. Why bother? She realizes they no longer know each other. She still wants to explore, while he's content with stillness. The worst part, he doesn't see the problem, while she feels a profound loneliness. This drift doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of neglecting moments of connection. When a husband stops caring about his wife's thoughts and feelings, he becomes a stranger in their own home. To mend this, they must rediscover curiosity about each other, asking, listening, trying new things together. If not, she'll forever mourn the man she loved while resenting the one he's become. You're not alone on this journey. Thousands of women have walked through these same emotions, emerging stronger, wiser, and full of confidence. The key is this. You deserve to be valued in your relationship, yesterday, today, and always. I believe your worth never fades, and recognizing that is the first step to change. Now I'd love to hear from you. Of the signs we've discussed, what struck you most? Have you felt a shift in your own marriage? Leave your thoughts in the comments. I treasure every story, every perspective you share. It's how we connect and learn from each other. Plus, I invite you to write down one thing you realized today and how you'll apply it to your life. A small comment from you isn't just a gift to us. It's a huge encouragement for the team to keep creating. Every word you write matters, so don't hold back. If this video touched you, if it shed a little light or inspiration, please like, subscribe, and share it with loved ones. Your support is the wind that carries us forward, bringing meaningful content to walk alongside you. Thank you for being here today, for giving us your precious time. See you in the next video, where we'll keep exploring and sharing together.